I know I was 12 years old when I didn't like this job. Mom said, go clean the chicken house. I didn't mind setting up with chickens, but I didn't like shoveling that dirty straw out of there and going to the barn and hauling more straw up there and putting in the house to keep it cleaner. So it was my 12th birthday, and I didn't want to do the job, but I went and done it, and I cried all the time I was doing it. I was so sad. I thought I shouldn't have to work on my birthday. Then I went up to Jay and Edgar's house. They was living in the little house up the hill. After I got the work done, I said, it's my birthday. I'm going up there and visit with them because I like Jay. Edgar was all right, but they just sat around and didn't do much of anything but sit and talk. Sometimes people come in and play cards with them, with Edgar. But anyhow, I went up to their house and people had started making Kool-Aid then, and it was a big deal. That pretty red and different colored Kool-Aid. And oh, we loved it. We had never had nothing like that before. And we could get fresh water out of the well or spring. They had a spring. And so he must have sold a little homebrew. He had a little bit of money, so he sent me to the store to get a few things. And he said, since it's your birthday, you can have a nickel and buy you whatever you want. I'm 12 years old now. Okay. I go to the store and they had these great big candy canes. And I mean, today they're just little bitty things. Used to, they's great big. I bought me one of them, a peppermint stick. I come down the railroad track. We always walk the railroad track eating my peppermint stick. But it lasted me for days. And so I was tickled my birthday didn't turn out so bad after all. And then when I got back to their house, they sent me to the spring to get a bucket of water, and they made Kool-Aid, another big treat. And so anyhow, that was my 12th birthday. They've been married. Well, they got married on my 10th birthday. That was 2 years later. I don't think they had any kids yet. I don't think Betty was born yet. No, because she was born when I was 13 or 14. Because we rode the horse over to see her. And that was another thing. Dorothy said, we want to go see Betty. Can we ride the horses? They was old work horses. Wasn't used to people riding them. Dad had one saddle. He said, well, you can ride them. He said, I'll get them hooked up for you. So he did. And he gave Dorothy the mean one to ride, and she got the saddle. And me and Beulah had to ride the good one together without a saddle. So we got started up the road. It was about 2 miles to where Betty was born at her grandmother's house. And so Beulah rode in the front, and I rode behind her up to the store. And we stopped at the store to get us something. I forget what we bought. We bought us some candy or something. Must have had a nickel or something. But then we was like in our teens. And so we get off, we hitch our horses up to the post on the porch of the store. We go in, and we get us a candy bar or something to eat. And we come out of the store to get back on the, or no, he's in the store. And I told Beulah, I said, now I get to drive the rest of the way. You got to drive this far. But before we got to the store, Dorothy's old mean horse was a gray one. Ours was a black one. And it was named Mabel, and hers was named Bess. And she was going up the road, and her saddle started slipping. Well, that upset the horse. So the horse started jumping up and down and ended up across the ditch. And Dorothy went off swinging around that horse's neck. She had her arms around its neck, and she was just a swinging over that ditch, and that horse was just swinging her back and forth. She wasn't that big then. She got fat later, like me. But anyhow, she got off, and we fixed her saddle back on, and then when I told Beulah I was going to drive the rest of the way, well, the people in the store started laughing. I guess they thought it's funny, me saying I'd get to drive the rest of the way, because she drove that far, and we wasn't used to riding horses. And we kind of liked it, though, but boy, was we sore the next day. And anyhow, we went to see Betty, and she was our first niece that we ever had. I think I was either 13 or 14. I think I might have been 14. And anyhow, that was a great thing. And we started riding them horses later, and they'd take me through mud and throw me off and everything else. And I never had much fun riding horses because they wasn't good horses to ride. Didn't have no sense, really, except to work. So, anyhow.
You guys went to church every Sunday?
Yep, church was a big thing. We had churches all around. We went to 1, 2, 3. We went to 4 different churches.
Why?
Sometimes 5.
Did you get kicked out of the other ones?
No. We met boys there. Sometimes they'd stay on the outside, but they'd always want to walk you home, except on Sunday. We went to Sunday school, different places. And well, we went. They had a lot of prayer meetings and stuff like that. So we liked to go, and we met people there and run into neighbors and people to talk to. And like I said, boys. So what else you want to know?